Hello, I'm Joy Elaine, and I am the author of The Joy Chronicles. The first book in that series is The Path of Sweetness. In it, I reunite with Shalia, the fairy I knew when I was a little girl. My second book, Blossoming of Love, contains more information about fairies, dragons, and other so-called mythical creatures that will be returning to Earth when we reach the eighth dimension. In these books, you're also offered the opportunity to participate in the transmissions that I, many ascended masters, and several million non-dual beings are facilitating. Our goal is to assist the Earth and humanity to evolve smoothly and gracefully into the non-dual eighth dimension and beyond. Humanity currently exists in a blend of fifth, sixth, and seventh dimensions. Today, I'm going to help you put a clearing in place that will help you to see and perhaps even hear your local fairies. The energy modality I practice, Serenity Vibration Healing, or SVH for short, allows me to work with your God self, that's your soul and your higher consciousness, to help you release all untruths about fairies you might have picked up from movies, books, or things you've been told or even overheard. It's very important for all of you to know that there is absolutely no such thing as a bad fairy, elf, or dwarf. There never has been, and there never will be. Gaia created them to be caretakers of the earth, and that is what they've been doing since she first thought them into being. The first time I heard Shalia's bubbly, joyful voice, I knew that fairies could only be and do good. SVH is also the means by which I can move my energy body into different dimensions and actually speak with and hear the fairies, Gaia, who is an embodiment of Earth, and other interesting creatures and people. In other words, the information I'm sharing with you today was told to me by Gaia and by Shalia. Let me share some more fairy facts with you. Perhaps you're wondering why, if fairies are real, you've never seen any. They currently exist on a dimension that is a tiny bit off from the dimensions humans exist upon. As you can imagine, that's for their safety. The way they can interact with us that keeps them safe is to open a window in their garden and stick their arm or their head out into where we live. Even though I'm sure you're very nice, they will never, until the eighth dimension, completely come out of their garden to interact with you. Perhaps you're thinking that maybe there just aren't any fairies where you live. The only places where there are no fairy gardens are in deserts which are mostly devoid of greenery, for example, the Sahara. Also the oceans or Antarctica. If you live in the Arctic, there is one huge fairy garden there, and the queen's name is Lo. Gaia said that deserts that have many things growing, for example, cactus and other plants and animals, do have fairy gardens. Nevada would be an example of that. She also said that the islands that are true islands in Lake Titicaca are part of a very spirited garden that is interconnected one island to another by bridges that look like golden webs of light. According to Gaia, towns that are really bleak-looking and devoid of greenery were not always so. For example, Cairo was a lush land of green long ago and remains that way even now in the Garden of the Fairies. He is not really into numbers of things, but she did calculate the last time I spoke with her that there are, hold on to your hats, 23,562,812 fairy gardens. Although there's only one fairy queen per garden, there can be 30 or even 60 or more fairies in one garden, which means that you have the potential to see many fairies in the garden off dimension from your location. Fairies are only 2 inches tall. And although they can all manifest wings, the queen is the only one who always has wings. It's always summer in the fairy gardens, and although there is no death, creation is very fluid there. For example, if a tree wishes to experience something besides treeness, it could change into a rock. Rather than do any more describing, I'm going to let you discover the fairies in the garden nearest you. But first, let's talk about the clearing designed just for you that will help you deepen your experience with them. If you ever read, heard, saw a movie about, or were told anything negative or scary about the fairies, let's add elves and dwarfs too, because they are also only good. Your God self will rewrite all those experiences to reflect the truth. If you don't believe fairies exist, or that even if they do exist, you'll never be able to see them, let's ask your God self to help you clear those beliefs. There are ways to discern that don't involve seeing things with your eyes, because in this experience, I'm actually going to have you close your eyes. Some people can feel, see. Some of you might be able to hear the fairies. Some of you will be able to sense them. Some of you might even feel a fairy kiss you, but no worries. However this experience manifests for you, it will be perfect. I have a formula in place so that if you have questions about the fairies, a hologram will reflect the answer to you. You may also receive telepathic answers from your higher self, the fairies, and/or Gaia. If you wish to receive a gift in the form of a conch from the Fairy Queen's wand, all you need to do is bow your head for a moment sometime during your visit. That will give the Queen permission to assist you. Now, her wand really does have the power to, for example, help you open your heart to love. Shalaya once conked me to give me love forever. Now, find a comfortable, quiet place where you will be undisturbed. We're going to implement your clearing, and then you begin your visit with the fairies. Please close your eyes and imagine a screen before you. It can be a TV screen or a computer screen or whatever kind of screen you prefer. On that screen is a clearing we just talked about that will help you to release untruths about the fairies and assist you to look as if through a large window into your fairy garden. All you need to do is silently ask the Creator if it is okay for the Creator to activate this clearing for you. When you receive an affirmative sense or knowing, simply say or think yes. Pause the recording here to allow yourself a few moments to receive your answer. Now, with your eyes closed, imagine that there is a large, beautiful window or even several windows before you. Remember that you are pretending to see. A part of you actually does see. The important thing to remember, no matter what you experience, is that it is not possible to fail. When you have finished, please resume the recording for some wisdom from Shalaya and Rosebud, my two favorite fairies. Pause now to begin your visit. The other day, Rosebud had some advice he wanted to share with me. Before he addressed me, I was treated to the sound of him clearing his throat. I would like to say that the most important thing about being a partner is in anticipating the needs of the other and then get out of the way to let them have it. If your partner wants to create it, then it is okay. It is okay for them to have what they want. If you just get out of the way, that is honoring. Let them have it and sit there having good thoughts about it. I agreed with him that was a very good plan. Then I asked Shalaya, who is the emissary for all the fairies, what she would like for the people of Earth to know, and here are her words. I would like to say that the world is a very beautiful place, and if everybody sees the beauty in it, it will continue to grow and be shiny and be beautiful. And if everybody remembers how they would love to be treated by one another, then they will remember to be kind to each other. It is important to remember that the animals and the plants want to be loved. If you see a tree that is not so happy, then give it love. Give it lots and lots and lots of love. And if you see any animals that are sad and mistreated, don't forget to love them ever more so. If they are all sad, it means that they are not getting lots of love to help them have a better life. Also, I think it is important for everyone to remember that no matter what they think, no matter what anybody tells them, the most important thing is what their heart says. What their heart tells them is almost always the best thing for the moment. Sometimes the heart says things because it wants something that maybe is not so good, but if their heart says, yes, I wish to love everybody, then they should listen to that. The heart knows. And finally, in the words of Queen Minnie, who is one of the fairy queens for Oakland, California, fairies are real. Namaste.